What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live for Geeks and Gamers Daily. It's Friday, and it's a review Friday, Jay.
Because
we
went to
both
the movies.
saw a movie yesterday.
Yeah, saw the movies.
Now, I have not heard a single thing about how Jay feels about this movie. I don't think he's heard a single thing I feel about this movie. I've only told like a handful of people my thoughts. So we're both going to go in blind to this.
Going in raw.
Nobody influencing each other. I don't watch anybody else's reviews before I talk about it either. So it's going to be it, Jay.
I will say before we get into the review, I actually it was actually a cool experience at the theater. I went to the theater at Universal Studios, and there were a ton of cosplayers there dressed up. Fantastic Four, head to toe. You know, somebody tried to, he dressed like the Thing with shirts. Of course, he wasn't like in like a big costume, but and the Galactus popcorn bucket sold out. People were buying that $80+ popcorn bucket like it was going out of style, man. I couldn't believe it. And I went to an earlier show. First thing they said was the show before mine almost all sold out. And they're like, a couple guys came in right before you. They bought a couple themselves. So I don't know. It must be a huge
dragging trash bags full of 8-foot tall Galactus.
It was huge. Yeah, it's like several people in our theater had one. And they, at least Universal did it nice. It was every one of them was wrapped in bubble make, like that popcorn stuff, unless you wanted popcorn in it. And then they put it in a nice Fantastic Four bag. So it was like a big purchase.
Yeah.
But if you wanted popcorn in it, they would
most
take
of
it
the
out
time,
for
like
you.
when you get those things, they know most people don't want to put popcorn in it. They just want to take it home or sell it.
Usually it's like not wrapped up. It's just like, here you go. We'll put it in a bag for you. But like this was like carefully.
Usually for mine, when I'm like, hey, I don't want it's like, hey, do you want your popcorn in it or separate? I'm like, just separate. I just want the thing. And they're like, okay. And they give it to me and it's already in like plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for that one, I imagine because it's so big, they probably shipped them and all wrapped up like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just kept them. And then they had a special for the Megan popcorn bucket. I guess nobody cared to buy that one. And the Crypto Dog, they were having a special on that one there.
When I went to see Superman, they had an entire table full of like all the popcorn buckets that were like 80% off. And it was like Thunderbolts, Captain America, Brave New World, Snow White, like all the old popcorn buckets that they just couldn't sell for like 80% off.
That's too bad.
It's too bad that the movie sucked and those buckets
Needless
sucked.
to say, I did not get a discounted popcorn bucket, but there, it's the dog bowl, right? Like they were trying to sell the dog bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Here, eat popcorn out of a dog bowl while you go see the film. But my theater was packed and quite invested in the film.
There you go. Well, before we get to that,
I didn't want to go too far.
I thought about potentially, I did doing a review for this, and I thought, I don't want to be one of those freaking guys that just has AI write my scripts. Like, how fucking gay is that? However, there's a lot of good uses for AI that are out there. I wouldn't recommend writing a review that way if you're a YouTuber or something, but there's a million other things that AI can be super useful for, especially this day and age.
Really?
Yeah, really. And guess what? Venice AI's got a deal for you. With the huge advancements of AI, it's become a massive part of so many people's day-to-day lives. And with that comes its own concerns. Did you know that Sam Altman recently said that ChatGPT can now reference all your past conversations? Is that something that everyone's comfortable with, an AI having complete and total knowledge and memory of all of your thoughts, all your business ideas, all these questions that you may or may not want to ask it? And more importantly, what are they doing with that information? Sam Altman said that ChatGPT will get to know more about your life. ChatGPT is the former director of the NSA sitting on the board. Alexa listens to you and recommends products based on your conversations. Well, Venice.ai lets you use AI without handing over your sensitive information. Venice utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installation, or anything. They don't spy on you or censor the AI. Messages are encrypted, and your conversation history is only stored in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up privacy to use it. The Venice Pro plan unlocks the full platform features, including PDF uploads for summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, and the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. If you want to use AI without fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts to a corporation or the government, you can get 20% off on a pro plan using my link, venice.ai/GG, or use code GG. Again, that's venice.ai/GG and use code GG for 20% off a pro plan today. There we go. Thank you very much to Venice AI. Check out the link in the description down below. But let's hit a couple of these super chats that have come in, and then we will get into our review of Fantastic Four. We'll try to keep it spoilerish free for the most part, throughout, which might be a little bit difficult, but I think we can do it, Jay. I think we can do it. Tobias, well, I didn't stream last night. I can say that Killing Floor 3 was fine. Very different from 1 and 2 with how it works. Could use more cooking time, but for a release these days, it's good. Thanks, Tobias. Andre CR, we got a Mexican Batman before GTA. Mexican Batman. Is there a Batman cast announced or something? Mexican Batman.
I have no idea.
Young Stavford 2. The marketing with PP and Vanessa is creepy. It has been rather annoying, to say the least. Christian Rocker for $1.99 for the best and most accepted YouTube intro ever. Yeah, people love the intro. People love the ads. People love everything about this show. Not a single person ever has a complaint. Not a single person is upset whenever we're hosting. It's just perfect. It's perfect.
Exactly. Nobody complains about me being here. That's for sure.
Never. Why would anyone ever complain about Jay? Thundarius for 20. Today is the 2-year anniversary of my 12-hour spinal surgery to remove a cancerous tumor from my spine. It was followed by 2 months of surgical recovery and 6 weeks of proton beam radiation. Glad to still be here. Hail the 199. Yeah, Thundarius, famously a cancer survivor here in the chat. So happy anniversary to that successful spinal surgery. It's awesome, bro.
Great job.
Keep going. Tobias also stuck on front desk duty. Send helper snacks. We'll send some kibbles and bits your way, Tobias.
You're on front desk duty?
Maybe a milk bone. Alex McCarthy, fantastic S-tier day. Meta PC, RK Outposter, Drunk 3PO.
Look at that.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Andre CR, Jade, you get the Pedro PP sippy cup?
No, and unfortunately, they weren't selling it at my theater. Because I would have bought several and gave them out as Christmas gifts to all my friends.
It takes a lot for me to, even if one looks like, oh, that's pretty cool. Even if one looks pretty, it would take a lot for me to buy one while I'm there about a movie that I'm not hyped for, or excited for, and I'm just kind of going to review.
Yeah.
It would take a lot for me to get that. But speaking of the Galactus popcorn bucket, Enrico Palazzo for $5. I've come in possession of a Galactus popcorn bucket. If you wanted to hold it till Vegas. Hell yes. Our man, Enrico Palazzo.
It's Enrico Palazzo.
Enrico.
Naked Gun. Bro, did you get a Naked Gun teaser trailer when you saw the film?
I did not.
I did. It was amazing.
I got the Odyssey trailer.
That was the biggest reaction.
Did get the Avatar trailer as well.
Got the Avatar trailer.
Look. It looks spectacular. You know what I mean? It just does visually stunning. But yeah, that's the thing about those movies, man. Very simple story, visually stunning. People come out to see them in droves.
And forget they even exist.
I'm rooting for the bad guys, though. You know what I mean?
It looks like they're going to win this time.
I'm rooting for the bad Na'vi, the ones who are like, your stupid environmental goddess. Fuck her. Like I'm rooting for them. The ones that are like all white and pale and shit, dressed slutty. Like I'm rooting for those Na'vi.
You're going for the fire people.
100%. Idaho Mike, Ryan, breathe. Breathe in the air. Don't be afraid to care. Leave, but don't leave me. Look around. Choose your own ground. Cheers. Thank you, Idaho Mike. Garamy has gone extra Pedro for 2. Jay's gay forehead larger than Ryan's.
I
don't think so.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think so. I literally just hopped out of the shower too, so my hair's like extra weird and poofy right now. But whatever. Zach Updegraph, always enjoy Ryan and Jay. 199. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thank you, Zach.
Larry for 2. Plastic junk from a junk movie. The beat goes on. Well, B Barrett for 2. Today's my final day of being 44 years old. You're gonna be 45? God damn, B Barrett. Old as fuck, bro.
It's pretty rough.
And then Grabdar's Hammer on Locals. Just got my new gas stove installed. Looking forward to cooking. What's your specialty in the kitchen? I've always made a mean frozen pizza, bro.
I can scramble some eggs. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I cook a decent amount. I cook up like this beef, beans, corn, peppers mix and stuff like that I mix with burritos. I just do like slow cooker chicken for 4 hours and with a bunch of different shit, and it's shred that. But I don't know. I don't often cook like I'm gonna cook a meal. I'll cook and be able to eat something for like 7 days, but I'm not. I can do shit. I can make shit. It's just a hassle if I'm just gonna do it for one meal, But
yeah,
Fantastic Four, Jay. The last chance for Marvel to have a success at the box office this year. I went in very much not excited, not really feeling the movie, other than the score. That's the one thing from the previews that I've really enjoyed was the score and the soundtrack for the movie. I don't know how you felt about it. You don't know how I felt about it. Give me your thoughts. Fantastic Four, go.
I liked it better than Superman. I think this movie's going to do very well. I love the score. I love how they figured out to get that Fantastic Four song in the movie several times. I thought the how they did it in like the old classic 60s, but with futuristic technology, I thought was fantastic. The downside was Pedro Pascal. Did not see him as Reed Richards whatsoever. And the only reason why, in my opinion, they went with the female Silver Surfer is to kind of force some kind of weird romance between her and Johnny Storm, which wasn't really a romance, but kind of. It's kind of talked about where he was like, "Oh, she's hot," I guess no spoilers. So one of those
that's
things.
Fine. That's all in the marketing. Yeah. That's all in the marketing. That's completely
I gave it
fine.
a 6 out of 10. My score is up on Critic List with my full thoughts. If you wanted to go check that out, 60 out of 100%. It's still in the rad category. Definitely the best superhero film in 2025, hands down. My opinion.
Well, I would actually also give it a 6 out of 10. I liked it. I thought it was solid. It is the first Marvel movie probably since No Way Home where I genuinely cared about what was happening at the end, and I cared about the characters and if they were going to make it through and not and everything like that. I did like it better than Superman. It is strangely similar to Superman in a lot of ways. Like the idea that you just kind of get plopped into this world where these heroes have already been established for a couple years and you're just kind of put into this scenario. But I think that I have a lot of criticisms for it for similar reasons that I do for Superman, in terms of I wish I could have used more time to tear apart some of these plot points, get a little more character time, stuff like that, especially when you get to the big plan for, the last third act of the movie. It is just like, but that's what we're doing. They're going to do it now. It's done. What?
Yeah.
Like it was, they could have used a lot more time, I feel like, developing that plot point, because it's a massive, ridiculous plot point, even for someone like Reed Richards to come up and attempt to do. I thought Pedro, as much as I despise Pedro outside of everything, there are several things that I like him in. I thought he was fine in this. You know, probably he was miscast. I thought he did what he needed to do. I thought he was fine. He wasn't distracting or anything to me once you push away who I know Pedro is on the outside. The movie, to me, with so many people being like, Superman had heart, this movie had heart to me. Obviously, a huge family dynamic and family element within it. Big stakes. It took itself seriously. Now, that doesn't mean there weren't a handful of little jokes, especially between the Fantastic Four. A lot between, Johnny and Ben just giving each other a lot of shit and things like
Jokes
that.
Didn't really hit though, man. It was more serious tone from like start to finish.
It wasn't. They weren't like the type where you're supposed to. Oh, look at there's the punchline. People will burst out loud. It was more just little quipping between family members. To me, it took itself much more seriously than Superman did, which I appreciated. And they also did. Remember, when we talked about Superman, one of the things that I said I wish they had done was in the first 10 minutes, show us a little bit of Superman in this world being the hero and why people love him so much.
That's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what they started with. They started off the Fantastic Four. They came to us 4 years ago after a space accident, and they do just a little bit. Hey, this is how this happened.
Yeah.
And they do little highlight reels, and it's for a television program, so you can kind of excuse away why this is happening in the movie. And they show you all these things they've done, the heroes they defeated, the people they've saved, the people they protected, and how so many people love them and why they love them. I thought that was a great way to establish them initially. Galactus looked fucking badass.
He was highlight. He was highlight.
I could have used another 15 or 20 minutes of the movie, a little more action sequences. Specifically,
there's a lot of slow problem solving in the film. Whereas, less action and more like we have a problem.
Yeah. Now, there was about halfway through the movie, the sequence where they leave Earth to go try to talk to Galactus and doesn't exactly go to plan. They have to escape. That scene is fantastic in the ship when they're trying to escape Galactus and then the Silver Surfer, and you have to find a way. That scene was awesome, I thought. All of this is while Sue is... Well,
I don't know how much you want me to say. I thought that was a little weird that they brought a pregnant wife into battle, but I guess she's part of Fantastic Four. So,
well, I mean, what here's the other thing. It's like, okay, so your world's going to be destroyed if we don't go up there anyway, type of element. But overall, without giving any spoilers, I genuinely like the movie. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's like one of Marvel's best. Nothing like that. I genuinely liked it, and I would probably give it around like a 6, something like that. I do think that Superman is probably better for kids. Like, I think that because it's so super fast paced and kind of goofy shit and whatever, I think that probably plays better with kids. But for me, I thought that between the tone, the score, the seriousness of it, the cool world that they set it on, that futuristic Tomorrowland 60s.
I like that a lot.
Type of thing. I thought a lot of it worked really well.
Also,
you didn't need female Silver Surfer. Female Silver Surfer. The one thing I did like was that it was Johnny who was getting through to female Silver Surfer. But you didn't need female Silver Surfer to be female. I think they wanted it for their diversity reasons and all this stupid bullshit. And maybe they wanted to have a little extra women power near the end of the movie, which I think you had plenty already. You didn't need it. It was pointless. I think it would have worked better with Nora and Rad.
I think you don't think it was like to make those fun jokes with Johnny and his new girlfriend. Like that was one of the thing because he was always supposed to be the ladies' man, so it was his job to converse with the female Silver Surfer. That was what he was supposed to do.
But that's the thing, though. It wasn't like he had a little crush on her or whatever, like because of that. But after they realize they're going to have to fight and all of this stuff, it is not like, oh, I'm going to seduce her over. It is
right. That's true. But I'm just saying,
what's
like
going
that
on.
element.
And Johnny's able to figure out what happened to her, what happened to her planet, and try to convince her to not let this same thing happen to them. You know what I mean?
That's true. I am glad that they didn't rely on like cameos or anything in the film.
It's complete standalone. You did not have to watch a single other MCU project to watch this movie, which I think works in its favor.
I agree. I thought that was fantastic. I was glad that they didn't do that. And I also said in like my review, if they had ended Endgame and we're done with the Avengers or whatever, we're going to start a whole new series, and they started with that movie, I thought it would be a great movie to start a whole Fantastic Four line, if that's what they were going to do. So
yeah,
I enjoyed it. It was slow in like a lot of areas. It was a little slow. If you like a lot of action, it has pockets of it, that's for sure. So
it didn't. The thing was, it didn't feel slow to me, but there was not a ton of action, because you get the highlight reels, you get to see what they were doing and all of that stuff initially. But then the Galactus problem, it's not as simple as we can just sit here and fight him, and it takes a while for them to figure those things out. But I did like the chase sequence, essentially. I thought that was tense, and I thought it was extremely well done. The chase sequence after they go to meet Galactus for the first time. Galactus does look awesome.
Yeah.
Like he looks incredible. Not that we've ever had a good on-screen portrayal of Galactus before. It's certainly better than a freaking cloud monster. I wish we would have had Norrin Radd in the movie. And without giving away too many spoilers,
I'm trying my best.
I will say this, that one of the reasons I think they chose female Silver Surfer was so that they could have the women, right, be the ones to really stand out near the end of this thing. And when it comes to Sue Storm, the idea of her being the leader of the Fantastic Four, that really wasn't the vibe. It did feel like Reed was the leader. Sue is super important and helped with like UN negotiating things. But in terms of the people who they look to for answers, it was usually Reed. The person who comes up with the plans is Reed. Like, that person is Reed. However, Sue Storm is the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. In the comics, always has been. She is super powerful, much more so than, Mr. Fantastic. And we do get an element of that. I think it may have been a little bit overdone, but she obviously paid a price, kind of.
Yeah. What I found interesting is that they, in that planet, in the Earth that they're on, they set a tone where the Fantastic Four held regular press briefings to the world, and how things are going to be done, and how things failed, and how things worked, and how they like they were very open with everything. And you're kind of like, oh, maybe you should have said that, but because it sways the people when they're happy with them or they're angry with them. So immediately, like, they get back from like a mission, they like immediately got to go to the press corps and answer a bunch of questions from the media that's broadcasted around the world.
Kalecki says, I don't think that's true, especially regarding the comics. If you don't think that Sue Storm is the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the comics. That's just reality.
She's between the four of them. Yeah. I mean, they each have their own, like, I guess you could say the Thing is the strongest of the four. So, Reed is the smartest. You go that way, and then Johnny. He's not dumb either. Like, he's very intelligent. He has his own thing too.
Now, Now, there was an element, and we heard about this yesterday on streams, where people were saying a Rose Tico moment for female Silver Surfer. I do understand why people are saying a Rose Tico moment. However, the retarded thing about the Rose Tico moment in The Last Jedi is that Finn is about to sacrifice himself to try to save everyone.
Yeah.
Rose Tico comes in, crashes into him, almost kills him anyway because of that crash. Nobody sacrifices themselves.
But
nobody sacrifices themselves, and their friends are still at risk. Right? So it is completely, it's stupid, right?
Yeah.
In this one, although Silver Surfer does go out of her way to knock somebody else out of the way, the sacrifice still occurs.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, although you do have a mechanic, a woman crashing into somebody else, The thing that made the Rose Tico moment so retarded is that Finn had a chance to try to save people and sacrifice himself, and she nearly got him killed, only for there to be no sacrifice whatsoever, just so they can have an awkward kiss.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons that was so stupid. So to me, I think that like saying it's a Rose Tico moment is like funny, but ultimately achieves a very different goal.
You said you liked the soundtrack, right? Of the film.
I did. I thought that
that was one of the best ones.
It felt unique, right? The world felt unique. The way it was shot felt unique. The score felt unique. I liked it. Not saying it's great or anything, but I did like the movie. I enjoyed it more than Superman.
Same.
It'll be interesting to see what happens at the box office. And if you remember, Jay, when we were here, over the past couple days and stuff, I said I think that I'm going to make the prediction that I think Fantastic Four has a bigger opening domestically.
Yes. It looks like it's heading that way.
It looks like it could be heading that way. Do we have the official numbers yet? They usually start dropping around this time. But let me see. Let me see here. Where the hell am I?
I don't see. I can't. I don't know what site you normally look on.
Let me look at somebody, a couple Twitter accounts that I sometimes go to that have them rather quickly. Because we have the projections for what people think, but it hasn't been. Ooh. Okay. There it is. We do have it, actually. Let me refresh. Maybe they've updated the article. They have. So, when it comes to Fantastic Four, they thought it was going to be around 23 million.
Is that me or him? Who's frozen? Is it Jay or Ryan frozen? Ryan's gone. I'm still here. Fantastic Four First Steps fires up Thursday night with 24 million in previews. Whoa, everything just crumbled. Oh my gosh, what the heck? What has happened? Can you guys hear me? All right, hold on. I think he's back. What the freak just happened?
I don't know.
Did you hit a button? Because I went completely black for a minute.
I have no idea what happened. It just, like, it was showing and then it went black and we just started spinning. But I still had internet and everything. So I don't know. I blame Jay.
All right, let's take it from the top.
Yeah.
We just got the official numbers.
Four, Marvel's last chance to have a win at the box office. Was skeptical going in. Jay, how did you feel about it?
Before we get into that, Ryan, I think people want to know about the box office. So I think you just got the official numbers. What do we got?
We did. Fantastic Four First Steps fires up Thursday night with $24 million plus in previews. Now, last night, people were looking at around 23 million. That's where they thought it would end. And that would have been higher than Superman's. 24.5 is about $2 million higher than Superman's Thursday. An important thing to note is that Superman's Thursday includes about $3 million of the Tuesday fan screenings.
Yeah.
So I would say significantly higher than Superman here. If you just look at their Thursday numbers, you're talking about 24.5 to somewhere around 19.5 to 20 million for Superman. I do think that it is going to do rather well this weekend. Superman could still have a good hold too. I struggled. We'll have to see. We only have a couple people's reactions, stuff like that so far. I don't know if there's a way in hell that this thing has as good of a hold here as Superman does. Superman's weekday numbers are insane. And I do think, people bringing their kids and stuff to it is probably a big part of that. I don't think that this is going to be as like child friendly as the Superman movie is, but that is a big Thursday box office numbers in previews when they're going directly up against Superman. And you'd have to imagine Marvel's at least happy to see that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I'm not sure, like in the past, have we had like a DC Marvel, going head to head? Maybe for Batman and for Superman, there was another Marvel film that was going head to head with that.
Civil War, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It wasn't even close in the box office when that happened. Marvel was on top, but it looks like more people are interested in seeing Fantastic Four. Word of mouth will definitely carry this film a little bit higher. I think if it was an absolute disaster, I think it would fade. It would fade rather quickly with Pedro Pascal fatigue and everything else.
Yeah, as much as I'm sick and tired of seeing Pedro Pascal anywhere,
I didn't like him I didn't like him because he was Pedro. I just didn't like that portrayal of Reed Richards.
I think he was miscast for the role. I don't think he gave like a bad performance necessarily. I thought he was passable. I thought he was the worst cast in terms of the Fantastic Four, and I like his character portrayal less than I probably like the others. I could have done with more seeing Johnny Storm as, like, we kind of get told, oh, Johnny really likes the ladies, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. We never get to see any of it, though.
The other thing, too, this is the first, it might be the first Ben Grimm doesn't really show too much of his depressed side, that he's the Thing. It's almost like he's gotten over it a little bit in this film, because in some of the other movies, it's like he carries that burden of being the Thing where he doesn't want to be, because his life's just been thrown apart, right? Because of this transformation. Here, it's almost like he's in an acceptance role. Mm-hmm. And you have Reed Richards over and over remind the Fantastic Four that it's his fault that he screwed up as to why Ben Grimm is the way he is. He just makes these little moments while he's talking to the media, while he's talking to the family. He goes, it's 100% my fault. He kept reminding everybody, and they keep reminding him, hey man, let it go. It's okay. Like, let it go. I had like a scene with the Thing, and he's walking past the school, and the kids are cheering him on. They're like, hey, pick up a car for us. And, he plays a performance in front of the kids and pretends like he's going to throw the car and smash the kids. It's just like, and it was a little more like happy, I guess, in this particular role. Maybe we'll see something different moving forward, but that's one thing that I noticed, because in the other ones, he was, he's very upset and angry and sad that he is the Thing, which it's like that in the comics too, and in some.
So you have Reed in this movie. It's so basically right at the beginning, you find out, and this is obviously not a spoiler because a lot of the marketing has been about Franklin, about the fact that they have that, Sue gets pregnant, they have a kid, all this stuff happens. And it is very much a Reed who's super worried about what is going to happen to his son. The idea that his DNA is all fucked up from the cosmic
like it's going to be a monster.
Sue's DNA is all fucked up. Yeah. Like, what is going to happen when two people who have these changes to their bodies, these mutations, this DNA that they have? What's going to happen when they make a child? And is the child going to be okay? Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to have powers? Like, what does this mean? What does all of this mean? And he's super obsessed about all of that and kind of is stressing about that from the get-go. But I one of the reasons I think I did like it is because you do have, two people, really four, but these people who are very concerned about
the child,
about their child.
Yeah.
And it's something that we haven't really seen, I guess, done this way, like a story like this that I can think of, at least in the MCU, so much of it revolving around like this family with this baby, protecting this baby. And obviously it's not a spoiler because you saw it in the previews. Galactus wants the baby.
Okay, yeah. I didn't want to say anything, but I'll let you say it.
We saw that, right? We've seen that in the trailer, in the marketing, that is one of the things that Galactus wants. He was willing to spare Earth for that. And what that does, and what I think this movie does better than Superman, is show how the Fantastic Four go from being the most popular, everybody loves them, everybody loves everything about them, to the people who, what do you mean you didn't stop Galactus? What do you mean that he gave you this opportunity to spare us and you didn't take it? We have families too. Selfish. What do you do? Right. And I think it does a much better job of showing them at their height, and then how people were turned on them because of a decision that they make, and how they have to fight through and fight back through all of that.
Correct.
And save everybody.
Correct. I think that family dynamic was done very well. But I didn't like. What can I say? I'm trying to be respectful. I didn't like the Sue Storm speech. That's all.
The one outside with when she's
I thought
Franklin.
That was like unnecessary, but it is what it is.
That was like definitely a Sue moment. Like
to go.
That was like her moment in the sun with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all.
And I think it worked well. It is, to me, it's a little much, especially when you consider how the movie ends and how important Sue is and like all of this stuff. Maybe a little bit much. Like I said, I have my problems with it. And there is some MCU to this movie. Overall, I did like it. And it's 6 out of 10. Maybe I reserve my right to go up or down half a point at some point in time. But as for right now, I enjoyed it.
And like you said, you didn't, make sure I heard you correctly. You didn't like the original way Reed Richards was going to solve the problem, right? I thought that was a little much.
It's just so this would be a spoiler if we talked about this, but they know Galactus is coming for Earth, and Reed, they need to find a way. They need to find a way to save everybody, to figure something out, defeat Galactus or whatever. And they do introduce something very early on in the movie that comes back at that point, and Reed is like, holy shit, what if we do this? The scope and scale of it is wild. And the idea of even Reed Richards, even the smartest man in the universe, going to do this, they set it up in like 3 minutes. And it just, that needed more time to cook. You know what I mean? If you're going to introduce something as crazy as that, as like huge as that, it needed more time to cook. And it was planned, and then the execution tries to happen. It happened so fucking quick. And that's one of the things where I wish we had more time with that. I'm okay in principle if you like introduce that type of thing, but you need a little bit more time than what they showed us.
I will say my favorite Reed Richard moment, well, one of them, it's not really a big spoiler. He's teaching a class, like a bunch of 6th graders. He's like saying the square root of it, and he does this thing, and all the kids are falling asleep, and he goes, all right, who wants to see a big explosion? And he just blows something up, and all the kids like cheer. I was like, that was funny.
What'd you think about Herbie?
I actually like the design of Herbie. It's like
basically like Wally.
Yeah, it's like the fact that you have to change cassette tapes to get him in different modes. I thought was kind of cool, actually.
I think that Herbie will be pretty popular. I liked Herbie. He reminded me of Wally. Like that's what Herbie felt like. But for the people who are like, oh, the dog, oh, this, all that, I think people are really gonna love Herbie. He's basically a droid. He's like a droid in Star Wars.
But he's like a caretaker.
Yeah.
So he does.
You can't understand anything he's saying, right? No. He's like speaking in robot shit.
But if they sell
all you have is like his tone, kind of like R2, you know.
But I agree with you. If they sell a toy where you get different cassette tapes to change his function, it might sell. Like a remote control, it might sell. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it was like he was like building stuff in the house. He was cooking for him, and then he pilots the ship at one point when you put a different cassette tape in his face. I thought that was neat. Oh, that was neat.
And somebody says Herbie was in the comics long before Wally. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the tone, like the way the character spoke to people, reminded me of Wally, if that makes sense. Like I think you can almost like sub in some of that shit, almost like 1-for-1 of when he's trying to interact with people. Like the tone of his voice, of which he doesn't actually have a voice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the robot mannerisms, the little beeps and whines and everything else that he does.
Wally. Eva. Yeah, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Reminded me of. Enrico Palazzo for 2. I like Vanessa Kirby, but Alice Eve should have been Invisible Woman. I think Vanessa Kirby does a pretty good job, a pretty good portrayal, especially this idea of, balancing this like either soon to be or just like first mother with all of this crazy shit that they're involved in. I will say this, bro, that baby fucking got old quick. Because I not that much time passes between when the threat is introduced on Halloween and then basically like a couple months. There's one thing we can delay it by a month, blah, blah, blah. Not much time passes. And that fucking baby is already like pushing itself up off the ground. And that baby's old as shit. Okay. That is not like a 1 month old baby.
The thing, like, she gives birth in space. She gives birth in space. And right before the baby pops out, her pants go flying like.
Well, they like rip them off and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like she still got her pants on. It's like poop, and they just go flying in zero gravity.
I thought that scene was great when Johnny's trying to shoot when they're like in the light speed wormhole and everything, and the fucking beams are going off because they're like in a gravitic anomaly essentially. Yeah, I thought that was a good scene. Prophet JD, how's our XRP brother Jay? Glad I listened to you. Always knew you're the smartest one on the show.
I still sold in green, but I sold before the big pump, and I regret it every day of my life. So I hope you made a fortune.
Wow. Yep. Soundwave superior for 2. I agree with Jay.
Thank you. Somebody does.
Sneck says, fantastic forehead. Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
We're working it on today's show.
Yeah.
Snooty Mims for $5 on Rumble says, B. Barrett, happy 45th birthday. Shout out to Mod Eric for always taking care of us here in Rumble. Hail chat. Yeah, hail Eric, who sends me the Miss Rumble rants sometimes when other people forget him. Derek PG Beller took my 8 and 10-year-old kids last night to see Fantastic Four. They both gave it 10 out of 10 and liked it more than Superman. Definitely better than Superman, but good to enjoy an MCU movie for a change. Yeah, it's like, that's why I said for me, Deadpool and Wolverine was like a fun movie. Just like, I did not take it very seriously. Dumb shit, made me laugh, whatever. Not really a good movie. So that for me, this is the first one that I've actually cared about what was happening, where at the end where your heroes are trying to get through this, they're trying to do this thing, what's going to happen, who's going to live, who's not. It's the first time since Spider-Man No Way Home that I watched a Marvel movie and felt like that. And yeah, I have my problems with it, but I think it's solid. I liked it.
I think people will enjoy it too.
I'm surprised about the your 8 and 10-year-old liking it better than Superman. That's to me where I thought, I'm not sure. I will say my audience that I was at a random fucking AMC theater at 3:00 in the afternoon, my audience cheered and clapped way more when the movie was over than my Superman fan, like the early prime super fan screening did. I was shocked by that.
Yeah, my audience was way more into it than Superman.
That was stunning to me.
Which I think makes the movie better. As long as you don't have like a talker during the film.
I didn't have too many not too many like whoops or anything like that during the movie. Just like at the end though. A lot of applause and cheering, which I liked it, but
so I'm gonna say this and correct me if you disagree. There's 2 end credit scenes. The first one that comes real quick can watch. The second one, you can that comes at the very end of the credits. In my opinion, you can skip. You can skip completely.
I didn't even stay to see that one.
It was at least for me, unless they freaking switch it, which I don't think they do, but it was just like a scene from the cartoon show.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't nothing. And like that was when people stay there like, we stayed for this? What? Like that was it. Nothing.
There is a mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
that it's going around on the internet. If you,
I mean,
you don't have to go to see it, and it's not like
it
you can
happens
miss
quick.
it. You know, you can definitely miss it, but obviously, it introduces the threat of Doomsday. You know, Avengers Doomsday, I should say.
But yeah, but the end to end was like just a clip from the cartoon that they showed in the beginning of the film. Like they were showing how popular Fantastic Four was and that they had their own cartoon. It's clobbering
time.
Yeah.
I think that worked well the way that they played it.
Yeah.
I think it worked well the way that they played that in the movie. Yeah, that would be getting into too many spoilers. So
yeah, I'm trying to behave.
Some of the, I guess some of my more like critiques do have to do a lot with stuff that I can't talk about that's not spoilers. So maybe we'll save that for next week. Maybe we'll save that for next week. Snacks, we said that. Eddie Brock. Why was John Malkovich's Red Ghost cut from Fantastic Four? Time, I guess. I don't think he was going to be a very important part of the plot.
He was mentioned, right?
He was mentioned. Red Ghost was mentioned when they were doing kind of the highlight,
the highlight,
all the things the Fantastic Four have done, and all these people they've defeated for us and kept us safe and protected us, and they are our Fantastic Four. Like they mentioned defeating Red Ghost's apes in that.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So I'm not sure if it was. The wild thing is, John Malkovich was in like the first trailer for it.
Yes.
Like 1 second of him like stepping forward. So I don't know. I don't know if there was ever more planned for him to do in the movie. I wish this movie had another 15 or 20 minutes. I know everybody's all about give us 2-hour movies, give us 90-minute movies. I like when we get a little bit more time to actually delve into shit, personally. I don't have any problem with longer movies. Now, if it's a bad long movie, yeah, that fucking sucks. But to me, if you have a movie that I'm invested in and I liked it, but I wish I could have had more of this stuff and wish you could have pulled this out, then I 100% want more time.
Time just stands still when you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah. Maybe. Tobias. Isn't it also practically shown in the comics Dr. Doom's a better parent than the Richards, even ensuring their kid got proper sleep? I don't know about that part.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know if it's, I don't know if the implication is, yes, Dr. Doom is 100% a better parent than Reed and Sue. Haven't read that one, but maybe. Why was Alicia Masters replaced with Rachel Rosman as Ben's love interest? Alicia's father, the puppet master, already established in this world. I don't know. And it was obviously, it was a very small little aside just to show that Ben had some interest in things outside of the Baxter building. But it was very small. I don't think he got his rocks off, so to say, yet. Vampa for 199. Lazy, predictable writing, especially Sue at the end.
But they clearly explain why the Thing has a beard.
They did. Trying to polish that shit off every day, you know? and that's what the whole, if anybody sees it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. The plot that takes place a little over halfway, basically the start of like kind of the third act when they're like, okay, we can't stop Galactus, so what do we do? It's like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and so many massive things on a global scale have to happen to get this ridiculous thing to be a possibility. It was fucking wild. We needed a little bit more time if that's going to be your ridiculous like attempt at the plot. And I guess it's not like it happens or anything, but I don't know. Eddie Brock. Spoil post-credit scene. Dr. Doom kneels down with. Yeah. Vlad the Man Hero. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, I think you mean. Oh, it's Vlad the Man. Sorry. Hero. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. He always liked Randy's cup noodle. Yeah, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. That was real, like we talked about.
Man, live.
Jay broke the news to the world that Hulk Hogan was dead.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's rough. Ben just needs his ring to transform back. Thing ring, do your thing. Love those old cartoons. Gabby Max Gaming. Did the 60s vibe work in the movie's favor? I think it did.
I think it did too. I think it worked great.
And it also helped you be like, yeah, this is totally on a different earth. Everything was completely different. The technology was different. The way of life was different. Yes. It was, I thought it worked really well. Especially to have a movie that does feel like it's outside of everything else. Genuinely, to watch this movie, you do not need to see a single other project in the MCU.
Yes, no homework needed.
It was that's not to say, well, you could watch it without. It is completely and totally disconnected.
Yes.
Basically from everything. Like, I don't think if you watch this, you'll enjoy this. I don't think there's anything even like that.
Nothing. I agree.
Not really, anyway. Shaky owns. Look up Tiger Electronics 2 XL. You gonna look that up, Jay? Just in case it's a sex toy or something?
So it'd be in my history?
Yeah. Well, I'm running the stream, I'm got stuff to do. And I don't want a huge, massive fucking sex toy or some shit in my search history.
It looks like Kirby.
Like Herbie?
Yeah. What'd I say? Kirby?
Yeah.
It's
got a lot of Kirbys in this. Jack Kirby, Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah. A little cassette
it does look like him.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bit, yeah.
I don't know why. Sorry, I accidentally put those. Here you go. If you wanted to see it. I'm like trying to find a better picture. But yeah, the cassette player that changes the mood, I guess. So there you go.
Hello, Herbie. The only cameo I wish they did was a Stan Lee cameo. Well, I think those are in short supply today.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last one he did Captain Marvel?
I think so. Unless they gonna AI him in.
Yeah, we don't need that shit. I like the Stan Lee cameo on the Spider-Man ride.
Yeah, like 6 times he shows up.
He's driving the garbage truck.
He's driving the garbage truck. He comes out of the movie theater with some girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Stan Lee. Rev Kev's Geek Corner for 5. My son and I did Super Fantastic last night. Saw Superman and Fantastic Four back to back. He preferred Fantastic Four. I preferred Superman.
What's up, Rev Kev?
There you go. Super Fantastic. Joshua Anderson, to me, Vanessa Kirby looks like a MILF. Jessica Alba, on the other hand, still looked a lot better as Sue Storm back in the 2000s. I'm just saying. I mean, Jessica Alba is like on the top of top tiers, right? Jessica Alba stands out. Vanessa Kirby in this movie looks so much different than she looks on tour. And obviously she's freaking just pretending to be pregnant in that movie where now she's
really
freaking she's very pregnant right now, which is understandable. But yeah. Snacks could have been Nova. Should have been Norrin Rad. That's the thing. For it to be Shalabal, and as much as I don't like it, if they would have had that have more meaning in some way, we get a really brief little glimpse at her backstory that Johnny's actually able to figure all of this stuff out. But if if her being a woman had meant more in the grand scheme of things, then at least I could be like, you know what? I don't like that they did that, but
it worked.
But but they did this with the story. But you didn't have that. So there's no point in doing it other than to be so fucking proud that you got it as a female Silver Surfer. And I didn't like her hair either. If you're gonna have Silver Surfer and you're gonna have her have the long hair, I wish it would have been like fucking like long and flowing and shit instead of just looking like a cap, basically. I will say, I don't know. There was a trailer for Weapons right before, which also stars Julia Garner. That movie looks like it's going to creep me the fuck out. It looks good.
I saw Five Nights at Freddy too.
Yeah, I did see that.
That looked awesome. That looked.
Should we react to that real quick? Somebody was asking us about that.
They're bringing that in December though, man. Why not? Man, they need to crack that during Halloween Horror Nights, man. Why they wait till December for that film? I enjoyed the first one for what it was. I was the only one that predicted it was going to do well too, because most people didn't know what the franchise was about. It's got a massive fan base.
There are kids that love that shit. I saw this.
Have you
trailer
ever played
already.
it?
Never. No. I did see the trailer already. But we'll watch it. We'll give our thoughts.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Definitely not the Freddy's I remember.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original. Nobody's been here for decades. Some little girl got murdered here. Do you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Freaking creepy.
So this is what it's like? Being normal?
I think we've come pretty far.
I can't not think of Hunger Games every time I look at that actor.
Yeah.
That's all I will ever be able to see whenever I look at him.
Considering what we've been through.
How's Abby?
Some days she's good. Some days she misses her friends.
Bro, lock her up.
That you're gonna fix those animatronics. It's only giving her false hope.
Can any of you hear me?
Abby, help us. Come find us. I will show you the way.
Oh no.
They're out there, Mike.
Where?
Everywhere.
Where are you gonna run to? We're not done with you.
The security desk. But you know what? I feel like they did the first film and they didn't know it was going to be such a massive success, and it was. And now they got a little more extra money to put behind it, just to make it like, just better, to make it better. I hope. That's what I hope. That's what happened. That stuff was creepy.
I think it's a mistake if you put a bunch more money behind it.
I mean, at least for that, that trailer looked good to me. So
I thought the first one was fine. You know, I'm not like a big fan of the game or whatever, but it is like a kids horror franchise basically, and you know, I don't know. Hope it does well. I like the first one well enough. We'll see.
I liked it too.
I can't say I can't wait to see it. That's not. That doesn't really get me too hyped.
I don't know why. I just don't know why they would release it in December, but I guess it's just how it felt.
Especially, aren't they going to have a five? Are they having a Five Nights at Freddy's? Something?
Yes, they're going to have a haunted house or like a zone there, and I'm like, how perfect would that be?
Yeah, that is kind of dumb.
That would be perfect. Go see the film and walk through. Man, if they recreate that, you got to walk through that, and those animatronics are that's going to be incredible.
Scotty says Gary and Ryan getting a mention on Louder with Crowder discussing Fantastic Four. There you go. Had no idea. I haven't even put a video out on it or anything yet, so we'll see. But
sounds good.
Thank you for the shout out.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Jay. You got really excited when they clipped out us reacting to getting rated on Rumble by them.
I thought it was cool because I know like that stuff
no,
doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
I was like, get out of town.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
Bungle's twanger for two. It's funny. Nobody knows who directed this film. It was Matt Shockman. But in general, you are probably correct. That not a lot of people know. Taker, did Galactus say he wanted Reed and Sue's son or their child? Because I would think Pedro would object to the assuming of one's gender and pronouns. There was like a pretty interesting scene while Sue is pregnant where, because Reed is like super hyper focused and worried about their kid, and she's trying to reassure him that everything will, that whatever happens, like it'll be all right, whatever. And she essentially turns invisible so that he can see Franklin, who's like still in her, which is a cool little moment. Very family positive in this thing from a company that used to be known for family friendly shit. Mo Zamboni, my son went nuts for this trailer. Gen Z and Alpha love Five Nights at Freddy's. That is true, actually. There were kids in my theater. They saw this, like, yeah. They went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I don't particularly get it, but they love it. Mole Man was my favorite. Hope he comes back. The fact that they made Mole Man into like an important part of this movie was, again, like there are like similarities, I feel like, for these things. For the big last fight, the city needs to be evacuated somehow. I feel like they did this way better in this movie than they did in Superman. And they were like, snap my fingers and randomly within 5 minutes an 11 million population city is fucking evacuated in Superman. It's funny how many like actual similarities there are. And I think a lot of them slide this movie's way as compared to Superman's for a lot of those little things. I think we're all caught up on YouTube and on Rumble. Yes, we're caught up there. We're caught up on locals. And then Bonesaw is ready for 5. It says, caught Fantastic Four with Captain Jack Sparrow. 5, in my opinion. A great end on curve. That's an 11 out of 10 for Marvel. The bar certainly seems to have been lowered, yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's it, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.
A good weekend.
Have a fantastic weekend. Or a super weekend. Your choice. Or it can just be dog shit like the rest of us.
Yeah, that's right.
But that is it. Jay, you got anything going on?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna watch Happy Gilmore 2, and I'm gonna go live.
I watched it this morning.
You did? Did you like it? Yeah, all right. That's it. Don't say anything else. I've been hearing some bad stuff, but we're gonna do a review on the Monday Hangover channel later tonight.
I actually think the last half of the movie, it's not great. It's a lot of like recycled stuff. A lot of people coming back.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But yeah, it's kind of what I expected. But kind of just like in the first one, if you are like a golf fan or a golf person, there's like a lot of extra shit in Happy Gilmore that is just inherently funny to you. They really play into that in this. Okay. The idea of how people are trying, like right now we have, yes, the LIV, the Live Tour started, and then they have the indoor arena golf thing that they're getting into now to try to like do a bunch of different stuff. They make a big play off that type of shit in this. And also, they have some of the top golfers in the world that play a significant role in this thing. I ain't just talking about I'm talking about some of the most significant golfers in the world now, and also some legends that play a decent role in the movie.
That'll be fun. Yeah,
I found myself chuckling a decent amount in the later half of it, but do not go in thinking that this is going to be some great thing for sure. Scotty Scheffler's in it.
I'm gonna get a pizza and just watch the movie, and then we're gonna go live, talk about it later tonight on
Bro,
the Monday
they got
Hangover Show.
Rory McIlroy, they got Scotty Scheffler, they've got Brooks Koepka, they've got Bryson, they've got like the
I know,
top, dude. It's wild.
I know we're late, but remind me Monday. I did watch the Karate Kid, the new Karate Kid film. I'll spoil the crap out of it. I know it's already on streaming, but yeah, I just watched it.
Bob Barker is in it. Yes. They've got a scene where Jack Nicklaus orders a half lemonade, half iced tea. We get an Arnold Palmer joke. But yeah, I do not expect much. It's not really good. But yeah, I didn't take it very seriously. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. Wait, one more from Derek PG Beller. That Five Nights at Freddy's creator was panicked when it came out. Critics didn't like the first movie, but he was thrilled when he found out the fans loved it. Scott Cawthorn works for the fans, and he's based. Yeah, he got canceled not that long ago, right? I think that was him. For some reason, it's not letting
Everybody
me
getting canceled.
For some reason, I don't see any more things on locals. It won't let me see anything in the chat at all, which is weird, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. Either way, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.